Good evening, everybody. This is Lord Rick of AngelOfThyNight Radio, bringing you guys some good eats during the stay-at-home order and the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. I understand most of you are staying home. Maybe you're not working. Maybe the governor's ordered you to stay home. I know that there's a stay-at-home order in Nevada. Unless it's essential, grocery stores, work, that kind of thing. And today I was out, I said to myself, beautiful spring weather, about 59, 60, maybe 59, 58, 59 degrees. Really beautiful day. The mountains can throw you a loop, even in May, June, July, August. You never know what you're going to get, because I live between two mountain ranges, and I live right here at the foothills of the Sierras, which are more steep and vicious than on the California side of the Sierras. But it's 100 miles across, and then the range is 400 miles north to south. It's a big range. It's full of Sasquatch and monsters, which is what I hunt. I hunt monsters. In the last couple of weeks, the snow has been thawing in the Sierras, so we're getting ready to camp in the Sierras, look for Sasquatch and monsters. Right now, the last couple of weeks, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Because you got to stay at home, right? So I decided, I'm going to start cooking again. Maybe I'll even run the cooking show. I don't do the cooking show all the time. I got a few things I'm going to do for you guys here and there. But this is going to be a double feature cooking show, and I'm going to feature Leviathan pork loin. Okay, so here's our pork loin. You guys can see it. The reason why I call it Leviathan is it's kind of like a snake-like, and it slithers. You could picture it like a snake coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Like a Leviathan. You ever see a Leviathans and the show Supernatural? There's just like these snakes that come out, or even like the Leviathan movie. And Leviathans are mythological creatures. They're supposed to be snake-like and slither, and they're like they're black, and they're just... So being a monster hunter, well, not really a hunter, but a monster researcher, because there's a lot of monsters, and you have all these people sitting home now. So where did these monsters hide? I went up to Lake Tahoe. There's thousands of houses all built up into the national forest, the mountains. God forbid they ever have a fire up there, people are going to lose homes. And I was at Lake Tahoe today because I'll take the 8 or 9 mile pass, and I went up to Spooner Peak because I was going to check it out because I want to snowboard. Snow's kind of low there, like Mount Rose, Slide Mountain. It's full of snow. So I took a ride up to Spooner Peak. They want to charge you $10 to get in. All the public dirt roads, all the public areas around Carson City, Lake Tahoe, are generally open. They're just dirt roads. You can off-road, you can camp, hike, fish, whatever. There's lakes up around here, plus you got Lake Tahoe. But all the areas that are public, they've closed, except little state parks. They're open and they're charging $10 a vehicle. They're taking advantage. They're like social distance, everything's closed, but the state park. So they have rangers sitting at booths taking $10. $10 for Sand Harbor. $10 to go just walk around the lake at Spooner Lake, or to go walk around Spooner Lake or go sledding. $10. And then there's crowds hanging everywhere. Not social distancing. People just up each other's ass when you have all this wilderness. All the dirt roads, they closed. So Tammy and I could not go anywhere. Wanted to take the dogs running around Winston and Rocky, because sometimes when you have running type of dogs, you really need to take them to the park or up in the mountains or a meadow. It was weird because it was a sunny day. Went up from Carson City up through the Sierras, Spooner Peak. By the time we started driving north along the shore of Lake Tahoe, and we went up to Mount Rose, to almost, I think, like 9,000 feet we drove up to. It started snowing. Life in the mountains is different. It was snowing today, and then we came down off the mountains, descended down into Reno, and it was raining. It was pouring rain because it was warmer in the valley, Went south through Reno, ended up going on Washoe Lake. Washoe Lake's an old lake. It fills this entire valley. It's absolutely gorgeous. Drove along Washoe Lake, pulled off in this big open area. There's really no roads. You just drive along the lake. You just drive wherever you want through there's patches of of brush and woods. You can drive through there, and there's little islands and peninsulas, but you can drive anywhere. It's just all dirt. A little soft, you could get stuck, you gotta be careful. But I got 4-wheel drive, so we drove. I parked on the lake today, let my dogs run around, not a soul in sight, not a person in sight. So I've been, for weeks, social distancing. I haven't seen my friends. I have a son, I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. My other son's just quarantined, he's just staying home. They go grocery shopping, that's about it. But me, however, I've been spending the last few weeks doing what I do, which is either cooking, smoking that bud, and of course exploring, because that's what I do. I'm a paranormal investigator and monster hunter. So I go out in the middle of the Nevada wilderness. Nevada has hundreds of mines, mining camps, and ghost towns. I mean, I've been here for 10 years in northern Nevada, and I think I've seen it all. I keep finding caves, mines, ghost towns, mining camps. So in the last couple of weeks, I have done 16, well, if you include this weekend, the 4 or 5 ghost towns we're doing, I'll have done at least 3 to 4 huge mines. And when I say mines, I'm talking a couple miles underground. We don't do no little mine that dead ends in 50 feet. When we do mines, we did a mine recently. It had, you go down the tunnel, there's a mine shaft to the left. You throw a rock, it takes 8 to 10 seconds to hit. And you just hear it faint, because it's 1,000 feet down. And there's wood boards covering some, so you got to be careful you don't step on one because you'll fall down the shaft. Some shafts have ladders that go to the next level. They're underground cities, these mines, so you have multiple levels. But we've been exploring silver mines. There's been bats in there. We found some weird things in some of the mines, but we go a mile or 2 underground, follow the minecart tracks. We can never go to the upper or lower levels because the ladders are gone or rotted. A lot of shafts, but the last mine we went in had 10 shafts. And we had to skirt the edge of the shafts like this to get around each shaft, because you go 40, 50 feet, there's a shaft, and in another 40, 50 feet, there's another shaft, and it just keeps going like that. And the mine, there's all sorts of little offshoots and tunnels. I've been in 6 places this past weekend. They were mining camps, Broken Hills, the Illinois mining camp, the Poinsettia mining camp, which they mined cinnabar. I went to some springs, went to Downeyville, the ghost town of Ione, and a few other camps. And a couple weeks before, same thing. Went to Garfield, did Garfield. So I've been quite busy. And so I'm done talking about how busy I've been, but my point is that if you think you have nothing to do during the quarantine, you can always experiment with cooking, right? Or you can do what I do, which is explore. I explore thousands of miles of dirt roads. I go in mines, I see ghost towns. I don't see a person for I don't see a person for 2 days, 3 days. Camped out by Gillis Springs, had a nice fire. There were some old abandoned cabins. It used to be a ranch site and stage stop. The springs were there to provide water to the horses and the immigrants and the pioneers on these immigrant trails, which lead to different ghost towns and bigger main trails that go up into California and the Sierras. So being in Nevada is different because you can go across a huge expanse, a desert. You know, and then you can go up a canyon and go all the way up, and now you're in the Nevada forest. Yes, Nevada has forest, but you always got to go 8,000 to 9,000 feet up in the mountains because everything below is desert. And a high desert, a pretty desert where flowers grow, there's springs or streams, beautiful scenic rock formations, cliffs. I mean, that are, you know, peaks covered in snow this time of year. It's gorgeous to go do ghost towning. So I went up to Ione. It's like thousands of feet up in the mountains, and there's a beautiful forest. We actually found an old Indian cave too. A lot of caves up in the Shoshone Mountains, and they're well forested. And we drove out of the Shoshone Mountains for 30 miles on the top of the mountain range, coming down off it in the thick woods. And some of these mountains in Nevada do have Bigfoot tales. There are some Bigfoot legends. I mean, they live in the caves. They can come out and roam. It's a very dense forest. So we go to the desert and forest in one day. We switch back and forth. Ghost town up in the forest, ghost town below in the desert. Mines in the mountains. So we do a lot of stuff. And now I'm just relaxing after 16 locations we've done, it's going to take me years to get them on the site because I got 300-400 cases there. That's how busy I am. Hundreds of places I've done. Nobody in Nevada has that kind of record but me, and I'll hold it well. But for now, Leviathan. Pork roast, folks. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get to it. You know, I just want to just start off the show just saying what I need to say. I hope you guys are well. I do self-quarantine. I miss playing basketball, coaching my team, getting ready. I'm not going to have a football season. I'm getting old, and I have a lot of injuries. I'm an old-timer. I don't know what's going to happen because it could be like this for 2 years. So the only really good exercise I get is I can mountain bike, I can hike in the mountains, rock climb, explore ghost towns. I can do that kind of stuff. Never see a human being. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they're closing off a lot of areas in Nevada, and now if you cross into Nevada, they make you quarantine for 14 days. It's just, people are getting really paranoid. Cops are looking like this. It's getting bad, man, here. It's getting bad up in Carson City, Reno, and the Minden area. You know, these are all cluster of towns that I live near up in the mountains here. And it's just, you know, life is just getting difficult, and we don't have a lot of deaths or sick people here. The governor did what he had to do, but all the casinos are closed. Government's not going to have any funding. They're going to run out of money, and a lot of services will be cut to people who are disabled, mentally ill, that kind of thing. And we're going to have a problem in Nevada, and houses are going to be foreclosing. And I'm going to try to buy a ranch in the near future. I want to buy a ranch, you know, have a goat, maybe a cow or a pony, that kind of thing. I really do want to have a ranch with a few acres, nice mountain views, can add on to the house. You know, have my friends come over. I'm going to have a giant man cave. It's going to have like an 80-inch TV, a fireplace, foosball table, all that stuff. But anyways, we want to cut this open. I left it in the package. Now listen to me carefully. This is a pork loin, all right? It's not huge. It's 3 pounds, which is adequate because Tammy and I live together. We eat together, and we watch a lot of horror movies together too. It's fun. But we like to eat well. Tammy and I have learned you got to eat healthy. Now I lost 60 pounds. I'm healthy. I eat a solid dinner. I really skip sometimes. Sometimes I'll have something small for breakfast and then go eat a nice dinner. And I stay under my calorie count because I'm 189 pounds right now. I can have 1,900 calories a day. So pork loin, it's not going to add on a lot of calories. It's just pork. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the Leviathan. Picture this, okay? Picture the Leviathan. He's slithering out. Oh shit, there's 2. There are 2 fucking Leviathans, guys. Look at this shit. 2 fucking Leviathans. Oh, this one looks like a fucking penis, dude. This show should not be called Leviathan Pork Loin. This should be called Leviathan Penis! They look like penises. Usually when you buy a pork loin, it's just a very thick piece of pork. Now I got 2 Leviathans for the price of 1. This one's smaller. This is the female to the right, and to my left is the male. Alright? It doesn't matter. Just put them in. You're going to cook this now for about 5 hours. We're going to have Leviathan pork loin. I mean, it's going to be something fierce. You guys are going to love this recipe. And if you follow it how I do, you'll have no problems. But I wanted to talk to you about my crock pot. Okay, this crock pot, I have 2 crock pots. Obviously, this is a 5-quart one. Or, a 6-quart one, pardon me. Today, like I said, I took my dogs out. They played on Washoe Lake. I climbed up over the Sears. I was looking for a place to snowboard. Because in a couple weeks I'm going snowboarding. I am going up by Mount Rose somewhere, which is above Reno and above the Galena forest area. The Galena is a historic little community up in the lower Sears, and then you go up to Mount Rose, which is the biggest, tallest peak, and stays snow covered here above Reno for most of the year. But that peak goes way the hell up. Mount Rose and Frill Peak rise to about almost 11,000 feet, not quite. You can imagine we're driving up by Mount Rose. There's still a lot of snow. People are skiing, snowboarding. I found a few hills I can shred, and I'm probably what I'm going to do is in a few days we're going to do about 5 more ghost towns. Some of them are pretty good-sized ghost towns with mines. And see, Tammy and I, we're a very adventurous couple. We're very adventurous. You have to be that way in life. You have one life. You can sit it on the couch, but you don't learn nothing. You don't see nothing. You don't get to that experience the flavor. When you cook, you want flavor, right? Well, I mean, when you're going to eat something, it has to be flavorful, or you're not, you're going to be like, I don't really like this. I mean, just let's be honest with one another. So it's about flavor. So when I adventure, there's flavor to it. You know, we have pot brownies while I'm hiking around a mine last weekend eating pot brownies. I mean, just having a good time. And we're safe. I mean, there's a lot of dangerous places, but we're safe. When you do 400 ghost towns, like I have, hundreds of ghost towns, driving thousands of miles of dirt roads over mountain range in Nevada, you definitely know your shit. We want an awesome ghost town to explore with an awesome meal and an awesome mine. So when we go to a ghost town, we get all those things. And so today, I'm going to give you this awesome recipe. So you got to pay attention. I'm going to make applewood smoked bacon mashed potatoes. We're going to have, this is going to be a pork loin. I'm not going to put it on any bread. Those are carbs. Tammy and I have been staying away from carbs. The other night we had a mushroom, sauteed onions, and shredded green beans. I made it all together, sauteed it. It was really good. And then I had these chicken fingers, or chicken tenders. Some were garlic sriracha, others were Montreal chicken. So it was really good. No carbs involved. You stay away from carbs. Let's say you cut carbs for 2 days, you're going to see a weight loss. Swelling in your body, such as water, will go down. I lost 60 pounds. I also jog and play basketball, and those things are gone. But however, hiking, off-roading in the Nevada wilderness or the high Sierras of California, the adventure awaits. I'm going to be seeing soon waterfalls. I'm going to be tracking Bigfoot. I've had many close encounters with Bigfoot. I'm not like Justin Smeo who makes up Bigfoot stories. I'm somebody who goes out there and does solid research. Tracks, broken branches, vocalizations, anything that I can get. And sometimes they don't like me. I'll be looking for them and they'll throw rocks at me and try to scare me off. It's weird. They're very tribal. But I could still, a male Bigfoot, it seems like the male Bigfoot have more higher testosterone and they make people disappear. Let's say I go off in the forest, no trail, rock climbing, going in canyons, up in peaks, all these areas that no human's ever been, and I walk in on a Bigfoot convention, or an area that this creature's territorial. This might be his hunting grounds, his stomping grounds. Maybe they live in a cave nearby. And if they feel uneasy, or it's either flight or fight, and some Sasquatch will just break your neck and can make you disappear. And there's always a lot of people disappearing up here, so I'm very, it's a thing I constantly am investigating. I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do, because monsters do kill human beings. More so than the COVID-19. This is Lord Rick of Angel of the Night Radio, and this is our cooking show portion of the show. And I'm going to have a double creature feature. and then I'll cook Jack the Ripper or London broil in a couple days also. But anyways, okay, this is sizzling. So what we're going to do is I'm browning both sides. See, it's starting to cook. This will actually fall apart, and the fat will actually cook into it. I'm going to teach you guys what we're going to do. Pay attention, okay? I'm not going to do anything fancy. I could make barbecue sauce. I can make anything homemade. But supplies at the store are short. Prices are up. Pork plants and meat plants are getting shut down due to the coronavirus. So we're going to have a shortage on meat soon. I have chickens. I have poultry. I'll continuously have eggs every single day. I get 4 eggs a day. 4 chickens. Look, brown sugar barbecue sauce. I don't care what brand you use, but you want something with brown sugar. We want the pork loin to have some zing, but we want it to have a nice sweet brown sugar taste. Now this is a big crock pot. Okay, so it's going to take me, if you guys, I'll show you guys the final, what it looks like, but this is not enough to cover the pork loin. It's just not enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, you see I took a little water, because the barbecue sauce is thick, just a little, because you don't want to have it wet. But the meat will shred up and absorb all the moisture, and it will steam. We're going to use the same water in all 3. That way we get all the barbecue sauce inside. Now this here, I'm going to show you a little secret, okay? This is a secret. Sweet Baby Ray's is some of the best barbecue sauce you can get. I happened to get quite a few of them. They were on sale. I think I was getting them for one time for $1 a piece. Now they're $3.50. So I stocked up, and I have the Sweet Baby Ray's Hickory Brown Sugar. I put regular brown sugar, Kraft, it's sweet brown sugar, you know. And it's meant to be slow simmered. Use it at crock pot or on the grill. I'm not cooking on the grill today. I could cook the pork loin on the grill, but if it starts to fall apart, it'll get stuck to the grill when you rip it off, and the pieces will fall down into the bottom. And that doesn't do anyone good. So cook this in the crock pot. Sweet Baby Ray's Hickory Brown Sugar. I'm going to give this a hickory sweet taste. It's going to have a brown sugarish, hickory, like a smoked taste. This will make it taste like it's smoked. Because it's hickory, right? But hickory brown sugar. And we're going to pour it on top. Now, as you guys can see, you can't really see it, but I'll show it to you. I don't know. Yeah, I got to get some mitts. Because if I don't have mitts, I'll burn my hands. Sometimes I grab things that are hot and it never affects me. It's all mind over matter. It's like walking on hot coals. You know, I can walk on hot coals. My mind's got to be like on Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Or a woman in high heels. Alright. It's very hot. We have to be careful. I put it on a high. You guys can see. Sorta. It's hard to show you guys, but anyways, you got the 2 Leviathan pork roast in there. They are covered in barbecue sauce. The meat is going to absorb some of this barbecue sauce. So you know what I'm saying? You want to try to, I usually, if there's one pork loin, a small one, you could use 2 bottles. I'm going to use 3 because I still have, the meat is not submerged yet. Now there's a cover on this I'm going to take off, so there we go. Watch what I'm going to do. Watch the secret, guys. See how I filled water in here? Baby Ray's is thick, so I'm going to pour this remnant. See, it's very thick now because all the water is in the barbecue sauce. Now the bottle's clear. Look, it's clear. And we're going to take this and we're going to shake the Baby Ray's. Same water, it's getting thicker because it's what it's doing. I'm getting the barbecue sauce. We don't want to waste things. You know, people go to the store, they buy food, they throw out food, they waste food. My dogs either eat it, I eat the food, and I don't leave things behind. I mean, I couldn't get half of the barbecue sauce out until I put a little water and shook it. But I'm not going to waste it because the meat will absorb the water and the barbecue sauce when this is done. Even if you think, oh, 3's too many, it's not. You have two Leviathans that are going to eat. These Leviathan pork loins, they're going to eat the barbecue sauce. When I pull this out later, it's going to be dry. Not dry, but the meat will absorb it, so the meat will be moist and full of flavor. But the fat will boil off, and the barbecue sauce will just soaks it so it's not dry. Because you don't want dry meat. You could not, if you put two of these, the meat's probably going to be dry. Put 3. Take my advice. I mean, I got these for $1 a piece. All these $1 a piece. So, it, you know, yeah, a little bit extra it costs, but it's worthwhile. And so I'm going to pour, look how thick this is. Look, that's barbecue sauce. None is wasted. I've gotten it from every single bottle. I just got to shake this and throw it in. And the barbecue, the Leviathan pork roast is almost submerged. There's a little bit exposed. This will cover it completely. I flick this to high because usually you can put it on low heat, cook it for 7 hours, but if you're in a hurry like me today, I went with my dogs to the lake, so I didn't put this in before I left, and I could have put it in, come back, and it would have almost been done. But on high, I can cook it it'll cook it 4 to 5 hours. Nothing wrong with cooking it on high on the crock pot. It's just that you can cook it quicker if you're in a hurry. But if you want even more flavor, slow cook it for 8 hours. I don't have that time. It's 3:30. If I cook this for 4 or 5 hours, I'm probably not going to eat till 8 o'clock tonight, which is okay. I'll watch a horror movie on Shudder. I watch The Hunters on Prime Video. You know what I'm saying? I just keep busy. I watch my shows. Working on adding to my website this Bigfoot investigation. It could take a couple weeks to add. I got a lot of cases to add. Anyways, I shook look what I did. I shook all of the barbecue sauce from 3. Look how thick this is. It's not even water anymore. That's pure barbecue sauce. all with just a little water. And now I have 3 empty bottles, and the meat is submerged, which will be able to, by submerging it, you will be able to cook the meat to its entirety, and it'll be full of flavor. So I'm going to wash my hands. My hands are sticky. When you're working with honey, barbecue, and hickory, sometimes you get it all over your hands, you know. But no big deal. I'll wash my hands. I love to cook. And we're not done with this recipe. I'm going to tell you what you got to do to feed these Leviathans. Because once you feed them, everything you put in here, they're going to eat, okay? They're going to eat it all. They're going to get chubby, they're going to get fat, and they'll probably fall apart. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, I got a fork to turn it, a spoon to stir, a sharp knife. You know why I need this? You know why I need this knife? Do you know why? I'll tell you why. You gotta kill the Leviathans. Look, you gotta stab them. See how I'm stabbing them? I don't care if you make Rambo sounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can make Rambo sounds. I don't give a shit. I just go like, when I'm killing the Leviathans, I'm like, ah! Whatever makes you feel better, stabbing that shit. Okay, you know why you stab them? Alright, I'm done joking around. Because the meat needs to absorb. It needs to absorb the barbecue sauce that we put in here, which is a brown sugar hickory type of barbecue sauce. And we want to make sure that by putting holes, it allows it to cook quicker, but also absorb a lot of the flavor. So I stabbed the fucking shit out of them. What we're going to do, first ingredient we're going to put in is garlic. Lots of garlic. No, seriously though. Okay, you see how much garlic I got? Look at that. I'm going to show you guys. See that? It's a lot of garlic, right? And we're going to put the garlic in here. It's for flavor. We're going to do like 2 big spoons. You see that? There we go. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you something else too. This is something you should do every day. Every day. Unfortunately, if you eat garlic every day, your girlfriend's not going to kiss you. She's not going to kiss you. Your dog will kiss you. Trust me, your dog will kiss you and lick your face. But if you eat garlic, you ain't getting no poo-tang. You can trust me on that. I'm a man of experience. I just ate garlic. You want to know why I ate garlic? I'll tell you why. Garlic is an anti-cancer agent. The product that is in garlic prevents cancer. It's been proven. You have less chance to catch some cancers when you eat garlic on a regular basis. It also has other benefits. It boosts your immune system and all these other things. I eat garlic on a daily basis. I put garlic in all my meals almost. Okay, it's expensive because I buy chopped garlic and it comes from China. It's not the best garlic in the world, but I'm telling you, it's potent and it works. If you guys are exposed to COVID-19 or the coronavirus, this may save your life. Garlic. Eat a lot of garlic when you're sick. Eat a lot of garlic now before you get sick. Boost your immune system, which will help, obviously, but this may save your life. I mean, they're doing a study and they're finding out that with the product, I think in onions or garlics, has been proven with some people to fight the coronavirus. So, and I've been eating garlic, you know, I told my girlfriend, I said, no wonder why I don't have the coronavirus or I don't feel sick. Because every day I eat garlic and I eat healthy vegetables, meats. Not a lot of carbs. I don't shove chips in my mouth. I eat vegetables and meat. I camped in the desert. I camped up at Gillis Springs, an old stage stop in the Wild West. Up in the forested mountains of the Gillis Mountains. Up above the Gabbs Valley and Shoshone Mountains off in the distance. Camped. Had a fire. Some old cabins. I took my night vision camera and I went in each place. I fell asleep standing up like this in one of the cabins. I woke up like a half hour later. Scared to death. Like, whoa, where the fuck am I? I remembered I was camping. You know, but I was holding my night vision cam just standing there. It was like off. I don't know what the hell was going on. And I made this stir fry with all these veggies and this marinated meat, which was tender. And I cooked the meat up in a stir fry. And we had stir fry out under the stars up in the Nevada mountains. So cooking is essential. Let's get to it. We started with the garlic, okay? because I'm gonna be ending the show in a few minutes, and I'll come back later and show you the final product. I wanted you guys to have a show. You guys are always asking me for a cooking show. I mean, I killed these Leviathan pork loins. I killed them, and now what happens is they're not going to eat all this flavor. The flavor is going to eat into them, and what we're going to have is some shredded up Leviathan pork loins. We don't want to make it too spicy, but it's got to have a little kick. It is barbecue. And what I use is a little garlic sriracha. Okay, it's a very mild spice. You don't use a lot. It's just like pepper. You know, I'm going to put, look, a dash. A dash. You don't want it really spicy. Just a little bit of kick. You know, it's like pepper, like I say. I don't want to use real pepper. Next, onion powder. Onion powder is good for you. Dogs aren't supposed to have onions or onion powder, but my dogs are exposed, or garlic. But my dogs have garlic and onion powder and all those things, and they live for years. They live for years. They do quite well because they eat very good here. So my dogs do live a long time. And my dogs are all healthy. It's up to you if you cook this and you want to give some pork to the dogs. Just remember, this is onion powder, and some dogs, it doesn't agree with them and it's bad for them. I wouldn't say all dogs, because I have a dog that's 13 years old and he eats all my cooking, and all my cooking has garlic and onion powder in it. Onion powder, okay? Garlic powder, again, you want to eat healthy, you want it full of flavor. This is going to be a garlicky, sweet, spicy type of pork I'm making. It's barbecue pork, but you want it full of flavor. You don't want to just throw a pork loin in barbecue sauce. You know, you want it to have some herbs and flavorings too. So a little bit of garlic powder. It doesn't need a lot. You already have real garlic in there, right? You see me put garlic in there. Little crushed red pepper. I don't put a lot, just a tiny bit to mix in for flavor. It'll add a little kick and zing. That's why we call them Leviathan pork loins, because they have zing. And they're a little sweet. I don't know any Leviathan that's sweet, but I know that once this cooks, we're going to have a very sweet, it's going to be the best of both worlds. A little sweet, a little spicy. What am I putting in here next? Watch. I can't get them out. These things are so small and the herbs are too big. But look at this. The holes are too small, so I took it off, right? This is Italian herbs and seasoning. And what is in here? This is oregano, marjoram, thyme, rosemary, and sage. Sage is good with pork and beef. So, and I don't want to put a lot because Tammy says she doesn't really like the herbs too much, but I do put some herbs in it because herbs are healthy. Again, herbs fight cancer. Garlic fights cancer. It may even fight the coronavirus. So I do put herbs in here. Healthy eating is so important. And I don't think people understand, you know, when you cook, it's not just throw the food on and cook it. You really should enhance it and make it healthier. So we have those herbs in there. Now I don't usually use 2 salts. You know, some people put a little salt in their meat. And I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do, okay? This is sea salt. I'm gonna put a little sea salt, just a touch. Because, you know, salt's not really the best thing for you, but you can put a little bit in for flavor, you know. Salted meats is something that's highly normal. People salt their meats and they put it on a, you know, they'll salt their meats and cook it. I don't like a lot of salt. I don't like really salty meat, but this is garlic, this is sea salt. I only put a dash, okay, just a tiny bit. And this is garlic salt. So again, we have garlic, but it's a salt mix. You don't want to put a lot because it'll ruin the entire thing. Just a little, look, just a little dash. That's it. Because it'll absorb into the meat. So now we have everything in here. Okay? Last thing, we have, not everything, there's 2 more little secrets, okay? The first secret is, I got, look, dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar. You know, to be honest with you, I like taking the pieces of sugar, sucking on them, eating them. Suck it, suck it. And I'm going to suck on this piece while I make this meal, okay? Alright, it's alright with you guys. Oh yes, It's like being in a candy store and you have a sugar cane, a piece of sugar cane. I used to cut the sugar, when I lived in Florida for 4 years, I went to this plantation one time, there was sugar cane growing. I took out my machete, I cut the sugar cane, I handed out sugar cane to women, men, all the people with me investigating ghosts. No wonder why we seen ghosts. I was in the sugarcane fields cutting sugarcane. We were getting stoned. We were eating sugar. Eating sugarcane. That's what this reminds me of. But anyways, this is brown sugar. Remember, this is a brown sugar type of pork roast, right? It's a pork roast. In this case, they're kind of hard, but once it absorbs into the barbecue sauce, it'll break apart. How much do you put in? Put in about, see my fist? About a handful with the fist. Just throw it on in. That sugar broke apart in my mouth. I feel like I'm at a plantation in Florida again, where everybody was running from the ghost and Bigfoot. We had Bigfoot and ghost all in the same night once. And the look of horror, my team was so scared and crying and running for their lives, was nothing but pure entertainment for a guy like me. Why? Because I'm a paranormal investigator. I'm there to investigate the truth, not run from it. And the truth is, you guys are going to be seeing some great Leviathan pork loins. Or a roast. You can call it a roast. It is a roast. But there was 2 pork loins. Now, here's what I'm going to do, okay? See the spoon? Look, I'm stirring the herbs. I'm stirring these. There's room. They're covered. We're going to cook it on a high 4 to 5 hours to speed it up because we went exploring today. And so we just got in. But this is not something you make quickly. All right? This is something that needs to absorb the flavor, break apart. The pork's not going to be done for a while. And so what we're going to do, I'm stirring the garlic, all the herbs, all the spices we put in, I'm stirring it. Okay? And it's getting really hot. It's boiling. Oh man. Holy fuck. Jesus. Never mind, folks. I got distracted. Sometimes those things happen while we're filming. But I got it stirred. I got it mixed really well. Last ingredient. Again, we want to use natural ingredients. No high fructose, none of that shit. This is honey. I'm not going to use a lot because I don't have a lot. I have other honey jars that are drying up. Not so good. This is still moist. I'm going to take a... Let me see if I can get it out here. Will you chickens shut up? Some loud-ass chickens, man, on our film. We got chickens on our radio show. I'm sorry. Anyways, a little bit of honey. Yeah, brown sugar and honey go great together. And I'm using real brown sugar. I'm using brown sugar barbecue sauce. I'm using honey. You know, natural ingredients. If you really wanted and you wanted to do things different, you could also put a little vinegar in there. I mean, there's different type of roast you can make. And I can make one with balsamic and vinegar too. But today is a barbecue roast. And I'm going to get some more honey out of here. It's very hard to get it out. I'm going to continue to put some more honey in here. Here's the thing. If you eat well, you're going to live a long time. You're going to be healthy. If you are optimistic in life, you know, you go camping, you explore, you hike, you experience the world. But I love animals, and I always want more animals. You know, I got 4 cats, 4 chickens, and 2 dogs. My puppy just turned a year old, Winston, and you know, he's a German Shepherd Hound mix, and yeah, he's just wonderful to take on my paranormal expeditions and my ghost town explorations, and we'll go looking for Sasquatch, and he stays near me and he guards me, and he's a good dog. Really great dog. There's no onions, so this is safe for the dogs to eat, but keep in mind, onion powder and garlic aren't the best thing to give to your dogs. However, I do give them to my animals. My animals, it's healthier. What this is healthier to give to your dogs was some pork loin, because I will give them some. Just they'll have a little bit in their bowls. But this is healthier than dog food. Do you realize in dog food they put all these byproducts and chemicals, even urine, sometimes feces in there? It's gross. And they're feeding our dogs shit, basically. My home cooking is why my dogs all live a very long time and stay healthy. So, I got the honey. It's just a little bit. It's not a lot. It's not going to make much of it. I mean, it'll make a difference once it melts. But I put three times on the butter knife up 3 scoops of honey. So now we have hickory smoked, sweet brown sugar, honey, barbecue, Leviathan roast. How awesome is that, guys? And it's going to have to cook for 5 hours. So what I'm going to do, we're done with the spices, so I'm going to save the spices. See, I always try to keep the kitchen clean when I'm done, because you're not going to need anything else after this. It kind of cooks for itself, you know what I'm saying? So you got the spoon to stir, because that's all I need. That's all you'll need is a spoon. I won't even need a knife. these Leviathans, they're either going to eat all this wonderful sauce I put in, or they're going to absorb it, get fat, and explode, and we're going to have some nice shredded pork loin on a plate with some mashed potatoes, and how about a pretzel stick? A warm pretzel stick with some mustard on the side. Woo! We got ourselves a good meal coming, folks. And so, like I said, I like to keep a clean kitchen. I will show you it before it's going to start sizzling. But I'm going to put the brown sugar and everything away. Because again, I got to keep a clean kitchen. There's no coronavirus here. But then again, I don't expose myself. I don't really get exposed to people for weeks on end. I'm agoraphobic, and I'm also kind of a loner. It's hard to make friends. Nobody ever wants to hang out. I got a basketball team. The guys don't even associate since the virus with me. Things are difficult because I do this paranormal work a lot of times alone or with Tammy. Some stuff Tammy don't do, like when I climb cliffs and that kind of thing. But she does a lot of my expeditions and so she knows how hard the work is. We climb rocks, we climb up in ghost towns, we climb around mines. We're exploring all sorts of places in the high forest at 10,000 feet, in snow, rain. We're just, it's like a very tight paranormal group or family. It's a family group. A lot of families run paranormal groups, but my family helps me with mine when we explore. But a lot of times since my son moved out, and my sons have moved out, I kind of do a lot of exploring and research by myself, and it kind of sucks, And so the least I can do is cook a good meal, and enjoy myself a little, smoke a little bit of herb, relax, take it easy, because that's all any of us can do with the virus outbreak, You can stay home and you can always cook. There's always food to cook. Make sure you throw this out. There's going to be blood in the bag. Oops. And then I'll come on when I cook the mashed potatoes. Now I may be on, next time I'm on, I'll probably be in pajamas, because I'm going to get relaxed. I don't really care what people think, because they'll be like, is he hosting the show in his pajamas? Yes. This is stay-at-home cooking, guys. This isn't, I'm not in some studio in New York City, 50 stories up overlooking New York City, hosting the Today Show starring Lord Rick. We're not doing the Today Show, okay? We're doing the stay-at-home Angel of the Night radio cooking show. And so, a few more things. You guys see I cleaned up the kitchen really nice. Obviously, that's something important because this is going to cook on its own. I can go play my PS4 for 4 or 5 hours, come back and have a meal, right? And so, I put it on the stove. Best place to put it, it's metal on metal. Even if let's say look, I put the spoon underneath, it fits. The best thing to do though, if you're going to go out, let's say you're going to go out for a couple hours, go up in the woods exploring, looking for Sasquatch. This is on the stove, so it gets hot, it's safe. I don't like putting it on the counters, because I always think it may heat up and ruin the tiling. This type of stuff gets waves and bubbly. Like up here where the tile meets, it's bulging, because I put a hot plate down. So I'm trying to be careful. I put the crock pot on high. It's radiating heat, but it is on the stove. It's metal on metal. If the thing blew up right here, it'd be safe, because metal's not going to start on fire. Plus, it has a shield right up here. You see how smart I am? Okay. Maybe I'm just screwing around. I have a lot of herbs on the stove. Be careful, because your girlfriend might get pissed, because she'll say, what are you, seasoning the stove, Lord Rick? No, I'm not seasoning the stove. I just, can't see half the time. I can see Sasquatch climbing a cliff in the dark, but I can't even see the seasonings I'm putting in some goddamn Leviathan pork roast 1 foot in front of my goddamn face. So in a little bit, I'm going to go probably play on my PS4. Maybe I'll go do some yard work. I got to blow the leaves off the deck. Take care of the chickens. There's always work to be done. And I want a ranch because I love animals. And I would like to get another rescue dog. Sometime maybe a goat, a miniature cow. Just life on the range, man. Nevada and California have some of the most beautiful ranches on high desert on the edge of woods and high desert. So you got the beautiful scenery of the high desert, and behind you got the beautiful scenery of the national forest and the mountains covered in snow. Beautiful living in the high Sierra Nevadas. I love living here. And I love cooking here, and I just had an adventurous day off-roading. I rode in a loop. I went all the way up in the Sierras to Lake Tahoe, all the way up north along the Carson Range, came down off the Carson Range, went to the lake, jetted back to Carson City, and did a full loop today of like 40, 50 miles, I think, the full loop. It's pretty cool, and my dogs had a good time, played at the lake, ran around. They seem pooped. They're just like sleeping now. They're just like, oh, I've had enough fresh air and car ride to last a lifetime. But we're going to be camping in a couple days, so we're going to be going to ghost towns like Bruner, Gold Dyke, the Kaiser Mine Camp, some pretty cool places up in different mountains. And Tammy and I love exploring. But I mean, we're finding out that it's fun to camp at ghost towns too, and camp out in Nevada, high up in the mountains in the woods or whatever. So we've been doing we'll probably be doing camping trips through this quarantine. They can't stop us from going out. They can close these public state parks in these areas or open the state parks only to collect money. You won't get my money. What I will do is I'll just take some dirt roads in the woods, drive up to some hidden lake and pitch camp. Primitive camp. Because I'm a primitive camper. Same thing in Nevada. No campgrounds. You primitive camp. You find a spot, you build a fire pit, you put some logs in, you have a fire. Some of the camps overlook valleys 20 miles across. Expanses. With beautiful views. There's some beautiful camping in Nevada. So we went camping and we want to go back again soon. Camp at a ghost town, camp at some overlooks on the top of a mountain, wherever my truck will take us, you know. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys the final mix, okay? I stabbed them, I mixed them. They look good, they smell good, but they're not ready. The pork is not cooked yet, and I'm going to be closing the show. You know, I just wanted to toke one up. I got some Orange 43 and some OG Kush. I mix it together. And man, it is a bomb. I mean, it has a real sweet taste. Love the taste. I don't smoke to get high. See, I had a comment 7 years ago I didn't delete. I deleted it off my YouTube today. Someone says, keep smoking your crack pipe. It's not a crack pipe. Okay, this is really expensive marijuana that's in here. This is not cheap shit. This comes from a dispensary. It's legally growing. It is legal in Nevada. So I hate when people try to like intrude, like, you know, you smoke weed and they're all like, fuck you, quit smoking crack. I mean, it's just ignorance, man. Thing is about smoking weed is it doesn't really hurt the lungs. Cigarettes do because they have chemicals in them. This is natural weed. Just right off the plant into the pipe. And so I don't smoke to get high. I'm a social smoker. I've been smoking marijuana for over 20 years. My lungs are perfect. I don't even have asthma since I moved up here. It's gotten better and almost completely gone. And I had asthma because my stepfather as a kid was abusing me, locking me in vehicles smoking. And he would not even roll the window down. I used to choke as a kid. You know, so my lungs got destroyed and my lungs are healed, surprisingly. Taking this medication and doing hikes, breathing, jogging, playing basketball. I don't even need an inhaler anymore. So I'm okay. If I got the coronavirus, it is what it is. Get it over with. Let me develop antibodies. The problem is with the coronavirus, we don't know the long-term effects. Like, yeah, you could get the coronavirus and let's say it damages your lungs. Let's say your lungs continue to deteriorate in the next 5-10 years and you die. We don't know the long-term effects of someone getting infected with this virus, what those effects will be. Yeah, you build antibodies, but what damage has been done that's going to hurt you 10 years from now from that virus? Kind of like HIV turns into AIDS, right? We don't know what this monster virus is going to do. We know very little about it. And you may be able to, after 6 months it mutates, you could catch it again. But people think that I'm around a lot of people because it's like, oh, it's Lord Rick, he runs a show, he does this, and no, man. I haven't hung with anybody. There's obviously no girls to conceive a child with. There's no girls to have fun with. I'm just making a point. There's nobody. It's like a ghost town up here around Carson. You can go to Walmart, you can go to the stores, thousands of people, all standing next to each other. Protests, standing next to each other. I go up to Lake Tahoe, hundreds of people just gathering along the lake, along the trails, the state park. Everybody's just close together. You know people can be asymptomatic and pass that shit. So I haven't been around people. I haven't hung out. I don't have any lady pets. I don't have any hookers. I don't have... Whoa, you scared me. Jesus, little girl. Just walked between my legs and I had a tail like rubbing my calf. I'm like, whoa, baby. She just like squeezed behind me as I'm leaning here. There is nothing, you know, my friends have vanished, they don't say hi, nobody gives a fuck. You write a letter to everyone on Facebook, hey, are you well, are you well? Nobody, everybody's disappeared. You know, people are scared. People don't know what's going to happen. Here's the thing. People that have good immune systems still die from the virus because their immune system reacts, it's so good that it actually causes, it's like an overload fighting the virus. And, you know, your white blood cells increase, that kind of thing. So healthy people are dying from this too, because it's not because the virus is killing them, it's because their immune system is fighting it, and it may be fighting it, it may be overstimulated and overfighting it. It can really cause some other issues, even you to die. They said some people had a reaction with their immune systems to the virus, while other people went on a ventilator, and 80% of people that are on a ventilator survive, the other 20% do die. And so nursing homes and prisons are getting hit hard, and people are dying. And I'm just stating the facts. They say by August 60,000 will die. Well, there's over 40,000 now. August is a few months away. By August, we'll be at 100,000 deaths. And the government's trying to make it out less to be what it is, and it's not. I mean, gotta be shut down. We gotta get a vaccine. Everybody needs the solution is everyone needs to be tested so we know who has it, who needs to stay home. Once you get all those people to stay home in quarantine, it'll kill the virus. It'll be almost non-existent because you have to test people. Did you have the virus? I think this has been around since November or December. Tammy got really sick, cough, fever, the whole thing, and I tried to take care of her, give her medicine. She did a lot of rest, was sore and tired. I haven't had no symptoms, anything. I had a small cold later on after that. My throat, I had a scratchy throat, but that's all I had, and a fever. So me and her may have already had this back a couple months ago. We don't know because the government's not doing enough, and Trump would like states to reopen, and the problem is this is going to keep going around for months until there's a vaccine. You can open everything, and I'm fine with things opening as long as everybody's got a mask, maybe even gloves. The government should supply that. Spend $1 trillion, give us what we need. But anyways, I have that kind of stuff at home, but everybody should at least be required to wear a mask. They can take temperatures at every place. You got a temperature, you don't come in, because you could have the coronavirus. Go home, let your temperature go down, then go back out. The point I'm trying to make is there's got to be some systematic plans in order to reopen the economy. But for now, I'm going to continue to cook meals like Leviathan pork roast and explore. Because there's no sin in what we do exploring. We're doing it for you guys, for YouTube, for our website. And we're doing it alone, no interaction with human beings. So even if we were asymptomatic, we'd never pass it because we're out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Point is if you got nothing to do, the two things you can do, the government can't take away, is you can explore. There's many primitive places, dirt roads here in Nevada and California, or if you live elsewhere, look up some stuff, man. Go exploring in your Jeep or truck. That's how you pass time. Smoke a little bud, go off-road and listen to some good music. I mean, explore, go off in the woods, find caves, go seek out Sasquatch. My point I'm trying to make is you still got to live. We got to live with this thing for the next couple years. If we're shut down for a year, we all got to live. What do? Do you resort to drinking, drugs? You can't make your rent, you get kicked out? Well, as long as you have a place to stay, this beauty will feed your family. And there's almost 3 pounds of pork. I could feed 2-3 kids here too. I just don't have 2-3 kids, but I have plans to have more kids because I love children. I love children and dogs more than people my own age, because people my own age don't agree with me politically. They tend to, it's hard to explain, like, I'm different. I'm a gothic guy, you know what I mean? And I'm strong. I'll climb cliffs. I'm pretty adventurous. I'll just like take a dirt road and, you know what I mean? I'm a guy that likes to live life. You know, if I go to visit a town, I want to hang out with some girls. I'm just a real open, eccentric person, you know? And I'm not, there's nothing wrong with being that way. I think people are very judgmental towards other people and they don't really know them. And I just like to party. I like to party healthy. Smoke natural weed, eat good food, go on a hike, play a little basketball. I live my life, spend time with my family. People on my commenting, put the crack pipe down. I don't do crack. I believe in health. And you can see I believe in health with this meal, which I'm going to show you. You're not going to really see it because it's buried under the barbecue sauce. Oh, we don't want it to pour out, so what I'll do is I'll turn the camera down so you guys can see it. Now it's been cooking a half hour. It's really hot, so I had to have oven mitts, but you guys can see It's completely submerged. It's just half of this is a 5-quart and half of it's full of barbecue sauce and two Leviathan pork loins or pork roast, same thing. They're roast, you know. So it will absorb all the flavor, and it'll shred later with the fork. It'll melt in your mouth. I'm gonna put the lid on high now. I had it uncovered for a half hour to season it and all, but if you keep the lid on, it'll keep the heat in, and it'll cook throughout. It'll circulate and heat the top, because we have the tops of the pork loins showing. They're barely submerged, but there's not gonna be any barbecue sauce when we're done. A little bit. If you want to get creative, one other tip, you can get sloppy Joe buns. You can get Kaiser rolls. You can cut the rolls in half, cut them in half. You can put the shredded pork onto the buns. I'm not going to have I don't really want carbs. Like I say, I'm not on a diet, but I was pre-diabetic a few months ago. It was scary. It was almost diabetic. And I'm no longer even pre-diabetic. I'm below. It's because I've cut out soda, fructose, carbs. Used to have 2 set of carbs eating. I would eat macaroni and cheese, and I would have rice, or I would have mashed potato. I would have 2 sets of carbs, and I'd eat 2-3 servings apiece, so I was eating a pound full of carbs every night. And I stopped the carbs, I stopped the sodas, because I wanted to maintain my health. And all that extra weight is gone. You know, I didn't have to do a whole lot. Everybody's like, wow, wow, wow. Well, it's like you got to exercise, but yes, but you have to, if you cut certain things out of your diet, I can promise you're going to lose some weight. This is a healthy meal. Pork loin was a few dollars. It's usually cheap. It's going to go up because of the coronavirus and shipments, and truck drivers are now getting sick. But if you can get a pork loin for your family, you can get a few barbecue sauces. This will feed. I'm telling you, if you got a few kids, this will feed your kids and you, and maybe even your dogs. Because I love giving my dogs home cooking. It's better than the dog food. They'll live a lot longer. You don't want to gorge them on table food, but if you make vegetables and you make meats, they really are great for dogs, canines. And so tonight, you know, we'll have some mashed potatoes. We'll have some Leviathan pork roast, sweet honey barbecue, hickory, brown sugar type of taste. It's going to have with some zing, a little bit of pepper in there, and nice pretzel. I think a nice pretzel roll on the side, or a pretzel stick, just because it's like a roll is okay to have with dinner. Or a pretzel stick or a bread stick. It's good. Yeah, I mean, I realize there's a little carbs, but you can have up to like 11 grams of carbs a day. So it's okay to have a little carbs. I'm just saying, don't overdo it. If you want to lose weight, you cut that kind of stuff out. You don't want to be diabetic. People, it's epidemic in America. It's a bigger pandemic than coronavirus. Diabetes kills more than the coronavirus. It is, I mean, it's an epidemic, and there is really hardly a cure for it except eating right. This meal will keep you from getting diabetes. It's a healthy, good meal. It's not high in fructose or anything. A little bit of carbs, okay, like I said, but tonight's meal, we're not going to overdo it. As a matter of fact, I may replace the mashed potatoes tonight. I'm going to look, because I may have the stir-fried vegetables, and I have some other cool things. So I may replace the mashed potatoes, but I will come back and make another dish before this is done, so you can see what it looks like on the plate for the final results. But anyways, everybody, you know, it's a stay-at-home Lord Rick, Angel of the Night, Good Eats cooking episode, where everybody's quarantined, and there's only 2 options we have. You know, you can cook a good meal and watch a good movie, or you can just go out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and screw around, laugh, fuck, cry. I don't care what you do. Rock hound, explore old wild western ghost towns or cemeteries or off-road up on cliffs. I don't care what you do, but you got to be creative. If you're staying at home, utilize that time and do some stuff that has meaning. The shit we often take for granted, like the outdoors or being in your yard on your deck and watching the birds, that kind of stuff. Take a time out to spend with family. And this is a family meal. This is a meal that you can sit down at the dinner table. You can have with your kids, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, boyfriend. But this is a good meal because of this 3-pound pork loin. There is enough to feed, obviously, more than Tammy and I. But my dogs will also get a plate too. So this is Lord Rick. We'll be back for the final results and I'll show you the sides, and you guys will see the nice platter we're making. This platter will be worth like $20 at a restaurant. It could. Like 19, I could charge like $19.50. But no, this is a free meal. If you guys want to come on over, we'll smoke a little bit of bud. I lost my damn pipe. Here's my pipe. We'll smoke a little bit of bud, have some good eats, and get in the fucking truck, and we'll go up in the mountains, and we'll find that squatch. We'll find that squatch. I know another monster above Carson City too. I seen it. It looked at me in the eyes. And we got a camp up at Hobart Peak. We get that son of a bitch. Start hiking from the bottom, and we stay the night. We pitch our tent, we stay the night up there. We're gonna get that monster. We're gonna find that monster. I'm telling you, I seen it. Looked at me, it was like 7 feet tall. Big glowing eyes, just stood there and looked behind a tree. It was a monster. I know what I seen. My son argues with me, but whatever. I know what I seen. And it was pretty spooky shit. All above Carson City. Bigfoot, monsters, and apparently Leviathan pork loins. They're as good to eat as they are paranormal. Come find out why when you follow my recipe and you take a taste. This is Lord Rick of AngelOfThyNight Radio. Our stay-at-home cooking episode. I'll be back, folks. So we're about 2 hours into this Leviathan, I should say Leviathan's pork loin. It's cooking really nice. You guys can see, I had originally, everything was under. Look, now it's starting to float a little bit. But it is absorbing, these are absorbing the juices. It's critical that you have enough where it can soak. You don't want your meats in the crock pot to be dry, correct? So you're going to rotate this every couple hours. You know, now you can see this side's been cooked more. Look, you can kind of tell, right? I mean, this has got to cook a little bit more because it's lighter in color. But the problem is they're floating because they've been cooking for a while. And I actually thawed these out. You can put these frozen, but if you put this in here frozen, it's going to take a lot longer to cook, right? So I thawed these out. But the pork, you can tell by the color, this pork is not done. Okay, you should always cook your pork thorough, any of your meats thorough, because you don't want to get sick, that kind of thing. Even chicken's the worst. I've had food poison from chicken and hamburgers. One time Burger King, everybody got sick off Whoppers, so they ordered them at work. So always cook your meats good, you know. Some people like their meats a little pink. We don't know what the final result is because these Leviathan pork roast, these Leviathans that we have here, they are being super, super strong, and they are eating up. You can see them, they're not, the barbecue sauce is like the sauce mixture I made with the herbs and the seasoning and the honey was deeper. So that tells me that these Leviathans, they are eating up all the juices. The juices see, once I put it on a plate, we'll have extra juice, and I'll pour this juice. It's cooking. You got to let it simmer with the fats and all the seasonings, but we'll be able to put a little bit on our plate. It's going to be really good, and just drizzle a little bit on, because the sauce is also key to this dish. A good tasting sauce. If you don't put enough sauce and these things cannot be submerged, they're not going to cook well and they're going to dry out. We have plenty of sauce. A little bit's gone because these Leviathans are soaking it up. It's actually, see, I stabbed them multiple times, so you want flavor throughout, and this is a way to get it. But they are stubborn. If you look, see, they are not, you can tell they're not done because they're still very rubbery inside. They're not, I can't even cut it with the spoon. We got 3 hours ahead. It's going to look much different in 3 hours. They are going to start absorbing all the sauces. Lord Rick of AngelOfThyNight Radio will be back with another segment soon. So another hour has passed, and I just want to say that, you know, when I took off the lid, the aroma has gone throughout the house. The aroma should smell, when you make this, you're going to smell a very sweet barbecue, sweet smell throughout the house. Like I can almost taste it. When I smell it, it's just so sweet. You could smell that tangy hickory barbecue sauce with the brown sugar. You can smell it in the air. It's like a natural, it's like having incense burning to make the house smell better. This makes the house smell better. You take off the lid and it's just the aroma. So I'm just letting you guys know when you're cooking, see how it's boiling to the left? It's cooking. and it's cooking in its marinade sauce, which makes it special. Some people throw the pork loin, they bake it, and they put it on a pan, maybe salt and pepper, and it's like rubber when it comes out. If you slow cook this high or low, but for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, you're going to have yourself a roast full of flavor, because it's cooking in. You can see how it's boiling. It's cooking into the meat. It's not like I just put it on a pan, baked it, and threw barbecue sauce on it. That's not how it works. You want to make your marinades and your sauces, you want to cook things with it, so that way it's full of flavor. Like I said, cooking, exploring out in the wilderness, you got to have flavor. And when I say flavor, I mean be afraid to go a little out of your element and experiment when you're cooking and try new things. And this is a dish I experimented with years ago, and I found out it's really bomb. And now I get to pass it on to you guys. I'm going to turn them again. We're going on 4 hours and about 15 minutes. Look at the color, because it's absorbed now. It's kind of caramelized because of the brown sugar. You see that? They will shrink, and let me tell you, because there's fat on pork and pork loin, so it will shrink. And it should do this, watch. So it's getting tender. I'd say another I'm going to put this on, I got about half hour. I think I'm going to cook this for about 45 more minutes to make sure it's full of flavor, but the house smells beautiful. The brown sugar, the honey, the hickory, and the herbs, the garlic, barbecue sauce, all that is cooking well together. You see it's boiling all over. The loin, look. See how the loin just pulled apart? Look at that. We have destroyed the Leviathans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this up in a little bit. Just a little bit into pieces. The flavor will actually reach in the middle of the pork loin, because it's hard for it to absorb in the middle. It's thick. You guys see how thick that is? And so when we cut this up into pieces, because I'm going to slice pieces, it'll have a chance to cook internally too, or absorb some of this beautiful sauce. This is a sauce. See how thick it is? When you stir this every couple hours, make sure you turn them. Make sure you let it absorb some of the sauce, pour some on. But you can see there's a different color to them now, because it's actually absorbing the sauce. Before they were very white, they weren't, you know what I mean? And chop it up into some pieces now. See how I'm chopping it up, and let it absorb some of the sauce. You don't have to chop it up and mesh it too much, but just get it in pieces. Put it in pieces. So that way it can absorb some more of the sauce and cook. But doesn't that look good, man? I have destroyed the Leviathans. And anyways, everybody, I'll be back with more footage. And actually, you will see me finish off dinner in a little bit. And then I will put it on the plate, and I will show you guys how good this is. This is a stay-at-home quarantine dinner. And you can save the leftovers. It'll absorb the sauce overnight in the fridge, and it'll even taste better. Okay? I'll be back, guys. Got about 45 minutes to go, and then it's bon appetit. This is Lord Rick, Angel of the Night, Food Radio. Good evening, everybody. This is the second segment of the show, okay? This is muckamane. You know what muckamane is? It's tender soybeans with a nutty flavor. A lot of people don't like soybeans, but they're really a decent bean. They're high in protein, so I'm going to cook them up. I was like between mashed potatoes and a vegetable, and I figured, I have this beautiful pork loin, brown sugar, honey. It's going to be really sweet with a little bit of spice. It's sweet and spicy. Okay, I taught you guys I made it sweet and spicy. It's a little bit of both, but it's going to be really good. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the muckamane, because I could make mashed potatoes, but then I said, I'd rather have a vegetable. Now, you could debate, potatoes a vegetable. The problem is people live on potatoes, which it's too much carbs. If you eat potatoes often, let's say French fries, it could lead to health problems, just eating potatoes all the time. So I decided tonight, you know what, I cut out the mashed potatoes, that's carbs, and I'll eat this, which is high in protein. If I eat the pork and I have the muckamane together, that is a really healthy meal. I'm not going to put on any weight. I'm going to maintain my health. I'll even have a boost because of the protein. Tomorrow I'll be able to finish my yard work because I just got done doing yard work. All my you guys know I wear nail polish. Well, it's all chipped. Black's almost all gone because I'm out there using a chainsaw, cutting the trees, the blower, trimming all the dead rosebush limbs, pruning everything. I have a lot of trees, a lot of bushes and flowers and things on my property. And so I spent while this has been cooking for the last 3 hours, I've been outside working. And so we're going to cook the muckamane. And we need a good pan to cook it in. What I do is I use just a regular, it's kind of like a frying pan. It is a frying pan. It's a special one that I use. We're going to move this over. Oh man. You definitely don't want the cord touching anything. So I moved this over, and I have this burner here. Now, I buy the muckamane at the grocery store. I'm sure your grocery store, your Walmart may have it. I go to Smith's a lot, and they have the Private Select, which is really good. They have really good vegetables. And you guys are going to see what it's like. Oh, shit. Come on, dogs. It's frozen, so you're going to get some pieces of ice, which will melt. Okay, so now you guys see it. There you go. The muckamane. They're just soybeans, And that's how they, the tofu and I don't eat that kind of stuff, but I mean, there's soy milk. I've had soy milk before and different soy products. Soy's very good. It's the future. It's easy to grow. It's a healthy little dish to have with, I sometimes get them with the pods, but it's a healthy dish to have with any meal, especially a meat. Muckamane is really good with meat. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it tasty. So you guys watch how I do this, okay? Okay, first I'm going to put on the burner. Right now I have the burner on, I have 6. We'll put it on about a 4. I mean, you don't want to you don't want to fry them so hard that they end up burning. You want to make them lightly brown on the outside, where it's caramelized. I mean, it'll be really good. But what you do is you take maybe 2 butter, and I know people always say, oh, if I had that much butter, it would kill me. Let me tell you, I have my cholesterol tested. All right, I've had my cholesterol checked and my veins, and I mean, I get a lot of tests, heart tests. I have perfect cholesterol. I'm no longer pre-diabetic, so it's okay to eat a little butter in my diet. Some people handle it better. But I'm not a stroke risk or anything like that. However, Parkinson's, there's 2 types of Parkinson's. My father has Parkinson's disease. We don't talk. We haven't talked in 30 years, and he came around, and he was only a dad to me a couple months, and fucking goofed off again, and kind of, family sometimes hurts you pretty bad, so, and he's got Parkinson's, so I'm scared to death, because I already have joint and arthritis and pain issues, and so, but a little bit of butter. I mean, you could fry these in oil. I like to use butter because they have a buttery taste set. These are a nutty type of, it's a nutty type of bean. There are stems in here, you gotta be careful. It's a nutty type of bean. The stems are hard. If you swallow them, you'll choke. They're hard as a rock. But there are stems in here. Kind of weird, but they can't get them all out. So you chop up the butter. Okay, look, butter's all melted. Let it absorb the soybeans a little bit. So we're kind of going to do the same thing. You guys are probably bored with all the garlic, right? Well, we're going to throw 2 spoons of garlic in here. I don't really measure. Tammy's all laughing. She's like, you measure with your fist. I grabbed the brown sugar, threw it in. She goes, I don't think a fist is a measurement. Because our fists are all different size. I got big, long fingers, big hands. But whatever, I mean, just a couple spoonfuls will do. I mean, you want to make sure these are garlicky, buttery, flavorful. So here we have the muckamane. Very nice, nutty flavored soybeans. But we got butter. I put garlic and butter and refine it basically. And it will soften up, but it'll also caramelize. These beans, they're soybeans, right? Well, they actually absorb the flavor. They really do. But you gotta stir them constantly. You wanna make sure the butter's even throughout. I'm teaching you guys how to make this, okay? Because muckamane is a good vegetable to feed the family. The kids will like it. I guarantee the kids will like it. You'll like it too, but it's like kind of like you guys have Brussels sprouts. A lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts because nobody knows how to cook them right. I know how to cook them good. People love my Brussels sprouts. Most people that don't eat them will eat my Brussels sprouts. Same thing with these beans. If you cook them right, butter, garlic, and you let it fry for about, I'd say a half hour on 3 or 4, which is medium, a little more than medium, maybe medium high, because you really want, when they start to boil, not boil, but when it starts to sizzle, it'll absorb all the butter, which it's doing now. There's hardly any butter because these beans absorb flavor. So I put garlic in here, 2 spoonfuls of garlic, butter, and I'm going to show you guys what else we're going to do, okay? Watch carefully. Herbs. Now this is a mix of herbs with thyme, oregano, marjoram, sage, rosemary, just a little bit, you know, because you got to flavor the beans. You got to consider herbs with vegetables goes really well together. And also, this is the stay-at-home episode. So you guys see, I'm in my pajamas. You know what I mean? I don't have no rings on. I'm not really goffed out. Most of my nail polish chipped off when I was doing yard work. You know what this is? Little garlic salt. So you kind of get salt and garlic at once. I'm making a nutty, garlicky, buttery type of muckamane. Okay? Garlic powder to go with the garlic. The powder will absorb in here too. Okay? So this is Tammy's favorite dish, so I always make it really good the way she likes it. Grape Rockstar. Gotta have some Grape Rockstar. This is to add some spice. It's red pepper. Crushed red pepper, okay? And take some onion powder and put the onion powder on. Lots of onion powder, okay? We have put everything into here, plus the butter and the garlic. So we don't need to do any more. I'm going to take a little more sea salt. A little more. And put some sea salt on. Because I already did garlic salt, so you don't want to over salt them. Listen carefully. This is the last ingredient. This is vegetable oil. Okay, I don't want to use a lot. I don't want a lot of oil in my system. I think butter sometimes is healthier than oil. Oils and butter are kind of the same thing, but at the same time, I get a healthy butter with no trans fat, that type of thing. Just because the beans, these beans will cook for a half hour and it will absorb all the oil and butter. The vegetable oil is for flavor. You only put a tiny bit. There we go. That's it. Because the beans will absorb a little of the vegetable oil and they'll absorb a little bit of the butter. And then all these seasonings. And what we'll do is we're going to leave it on medium. It's kind of soupy. If you look, see? Some of it's already been absorbed, but it is a little soupy. And you have to leave it on about a half hour to 45 minutes. And this is going to caramelize. It's going to absorb the butter, the garlic, all the seasonings. And you're just going to have a buttery type of bean. And these are really tasty beans. They're good for you. They're high in protein. And the apocalypse you could live on. If you could find a soybean farm and you could cook these, you could just live on these alone, these soybeans, and you could survive, you know. Plus, I have chickens that lay eggs on a daily basis, so, you know, I could crack a couple eggs, scramble them up in here, and I could have a really good meal. Just saying. But this vegetable is to go with the beautiful Leviathan pork that I made. And so, you know, I'm gonna put it on for 15 minutes. I got 2 minutes left, and that'll put it on at about 5 hours. It's been cooking. I mean, we're almost at the 5 hour, on the 4 hours, 45-minute mark. We want to at least cook it 5 hours on high. If you're cooking it on low, 7 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I cooked it on high because I went out to the lake today, Lake Tahoe, Washoe Lake. Took my dog, so I didn't really have a lot of time. You know, I was going to say something because it's on my mind. You know, I go to my doctors, right? And they check her temp. Well, they sometimes check the temp. They ask, do you have any diarrhea, high temperatures, aches and pains? I'm like, no. I have aches and pains because I suffer from fibromyalgia and chronic pain. And I have a bad spine. But if you would tell them you have pain and stuff, they're going to be like, sorry, you can't go up to see your doctor. Well, everybody around Carson City, Reno, is wearing masks. I mean, there's very few people that don't have bandanas and masks. I've seen some dudes at the grocery store wearing masks laughing. They were fucking around in the canned good aisle throwing shit thinking it was funny because they got bandanas on their face. I got a skull bandana. I got some cool bandanas. But I don't really wear masks because I'm not that paranoid. If I see cases rise major in the next couple of weeks, I will wear a mask and take the precautions. But I'm not around people hardly ever. I shop for 2 weeks at a time, that kind of stuff. But I go to my doctor's. There's this Latina girl. A lot of Latinas live here. I love Hispanic girls, especially like Latina girls that are mixed. Beautiful girls, beautiful. You can get Latina girls that are blonde and, I mean, just beautiful women. And I have no problem saying women are, the women are beautiful. But there's this nurse. She's kind of abrasive. But they got her checking downstairs the temperature and stuff. And I was thinking, the mask is, I'm kind of getting turned on by women in masks. I don't know what it is. But I see this Latina nurse, she's a tiny little thing, and she's got a mask, and you just see her brown eyes, and you think, oh, what's under the mask? She's fucking hot and smoking. Well, I was like at the store, and I thought that I seen this blonde girl who I thought was really hot. She's wearing a mask, and I'm standing there thinking, oh, what's behind the mask? Because, a little mystery is sexy, right? If I wear a mask and my sunglasses, girls are going to be like, I wonder if he's, I bet you he's sexy. Because you don't really see the face. All you see is the mask and the eyes. But this girl, this blonde at the grocery store, I don't know why people take off their masks. They go to the grocery store and then they take it off because they get sick of it. She's at the grocery store, some blonde, right? And I'm shopping and I'm looking at food. And I look over and I'm thinking, man, she's hot. She's all fucking bending over. And I'm like, ooh, baby, nice ass. She took off her fucking mask, dude, and had like half of her teeth were gone, and fucking all, you know what I mean? She had wrinkles from fucking smoking all the time, or hitting and she was a crackhead. She's a cracker, you know what I mean? And so when you do meth, it makes you look aged and strung out. Once that fucking mask came off, I was like, ugh! I got scared, you know what I'm saying? Because I always assume that when you see a cute girl with a nice body wearing a mask, you assume she's hot. But sometimes a mask is mystery. It's like a game we play, what's under the mask. Kind of like what's under the bra or what's under the panties. Same fucking game, only it's what's under the mask. And so you don't always know what you're going to get. You can assume, hey, that girl is smoking hot. Yeah, she might have a hot body, but under the mask could be a crackhead is what I'm saying. And sure enough, she took the mask off and her fucking... I mean, you could tell, dude, she was cracked out. Her teeth were all fucked up. Her mouth was all fucked up. I mean, she must be fucking sucking fucking cocks for a living. I'm telling you. She's like her face was stuck sucking cock, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't sit there and say, oh, that girl's got a hot body. I know she's hot. Because you know what? When the mask comes off, 50-50 chance. Either she's going to be hot and have beautiful lips, or you're going to find out by looking at her she's hit the crack pipe too many goddamn fucking times. I don't like the politics. Now, you got to keep stirring this, too. That's why I'm still on film. I don't like the political bullshit going on online. Everyone wants to fight about Trump and Democrats, and I'm sick, and conspiracies, and I just don't fucking... Some people think that this coronavirus is a hoax, and Trump's like, liberate the states, liberate. He's telling the states you can open when you want, and he's telling people on Twitter, liberate. And this is not a hoax. Okay, your parents can die. You can die if you have a good immune system. You can die if you have asthma, or you smoke, or you have lung problems. People die from the coronavirus. And so you have to understand, staying home or kind of just laying low for a couple months, that's good to do that. It's a really good deed, because you don't want to be asymptomatic, pass it on to someone's mother or father, and somebody loses both their parents, which I've seen on the news multiple times, that there are some people in their 20s and 30s who lose both their parents. Like there was a woman that at the church, her father was a pastor. Her father and mother died a couple hours apart from the coronavirus. They're heartbreaking stories. And everyone wants to argue about politics, and it's like right now we have to do for each other. You know, this episode means a lot to me, because this is something I can give you guys to cook and do. You guys are home bored. Now look, the butter's almost gone, the oil's almost gone. These beans absorb it. It's amazing, and they start caramelizing. They taste so good. I mean, I could eat piles of these, you know what I'm saying? When I go to ghost towns, I find piles of bean cans. They're rusty. The miners back in the day would eat bean cans, because you could store beans in a can, open the can, and that was their meal. They ate beans, they'd cook the beans on the open fire. They wouldn't have butter and seasonings. You know, they might have a little bit of salt and pepper, but a lot of times back in these mining camps, they ate the beans. And they didn't have no recycling dump or a sanitation yard. What they did is they had a pile. In every ghost town I go, any ghost town I go really, any mining camp, you always find the junk, I call it the junk pile, where there's a pile of just rusty metal bean cans, TNT boxes, just all sorts of rusty metal pieces just piled up. Because they just would, sometimes miners would build a cabin and throw the bean cans out the window, and you got a pile of bean cans behind the house, behind some stone cabin. Or they'd take their breaks outside the mine. They work in the mine morning and night. They'd eat some beans, sit outside the mine, eat beans, and next to the mine's a pile of bean cans. So they didn't have the seasonings that I'm able to add. But these are almost caramelized, and here's the thing. In 15 minutes, we're eating. Okay, and what I'm going to do, you guys probably enjoy all my stories I tell you, but you know, I live a crazy life. I live a very adventurous life. I don't think people understand my life is unique. I'm a very free spirit, very carefree person, and I like to be inspiring to all you guys. That's why I post my adventures on YouTube. That's why I post content on my website. That's why I do these shows. It's to interact with all of you, have a good time, teach you guys, educate you guys on history or cooking, or just kind of showing you what it's like to be Lord Rick. And it's like a reality show. You get to see my life and my world. Here I am in my PJs, staying at home, hosting a radio show, a cooking show. Who would ever think? And this is a double feature cooking show. And the next cooking show will be Jack the Ripper, London Broil. And you guys are going to fucking love it. Okay? And I'm not going to tell you why I call it that until the next show, but it's a double show. So you're going to get 2 shows for the price of 1. You know, I know these shows are kind of a few hours long, but you got nothing but time if you're staying home under quarantine, correct? So you might as well just do what I do, man. Grab your pipes, hold them in the air, and fucking toke. Oh! I watched a movie called Howl last night. Badass werewolf movie. I got Prime, I got Disney, I got Netflix. All I have been doing the last couple of weeks in this quarantine, this coronavirus shit, watching a lot of horror movies. I've seen all sorts. You know, I also seen Terminator. I seen the new Rambo, which is fucking kick-ass, The Last Blood. That dude fucking rips someone's heart out like every Rambo's like that, but he gets his revenge, and Stallone is badass. You guys got to see the last Rambo. You got to see it. Last Blood, Rambo. I mean, he doesn't even dye his hair for the part. Usually his hair is always black. He kept it gray, and he is just one badass motherfucker. It's worth seeing it because he takes out the cartel. You know, he goes after the cartel. It's actually like a group of people involved with drugs and sex slavery, and he just bam. You know what I mean? He goes after them because his niece that he raised or whatever, you know, I mean, you can read about it, but she gets kidnapped or taken into sex slavery. He just fucking goes after her to save her. So you should rent the movie. It's really good. Anyways, as you can see, I'll show you guys. See, there's heart. It's absorbed. Look, it's not as soupy as it was. And so we're going to let that cook, and I'll be back in about 15 minutes, you hear? I'll be back in 15 minutes, you hear? I told Tammy, I got friends that want to like kill Democrats. And it's like I'm an independent, so I don't really sit there and like oh, this Republican's bad, this Democrat. I don't criticize. I criticize if a politician's not doing his job or he's lying or that kind of thing. But I see both sides of the aisle because that's what it takes to unite this country. People want to argue it that we both want the same things. They're just different parties, you know, and I'm not affiliated with any party. And people want to argue over politics. It's like, yo, you know, it's like, yo, man, looks like we got a civil war on our hands, you know? That's what it's like. It's like a civil war. Tomorrow there's going to be a civil war, you know what I'm saying? Civil war tomorrow. That's what it's like, man. Online, it's like civil war. Everybody wants to argue and go to war over Trump and over Democrats do this and Pelosi this. I'm just Schumer this. I'm just tired of hearing it. I post an article and people want to argue. Oh, this is fake news. I don't want to hear it, man. It's my Facebook. I don't go on your Facebook. I don't tell you how to vote or what to do or that's wrong or this wrong. And you guys shouldn't go on my Facebook to do it. You want to go on Facebook, you make a nice comment. Comment on my pictures. Comment on ghost towns. Comment on my articles. And say good things. Don't write me and say who I need to vote for or this is a lie. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to fucking hear it. My life is not, I don't have drama in my life, man. I'm always in the mountains having a good time, you know. Now and then get a nice massage from a beautiful lady. Enjoy the company of a beautiful woman. I got a beautiful girlfriend. I mean, she just wears skirts and stockings and 7-inch heels and lets her hair straighten down, her blonde hair. I got a beautiful girlfriend, and I like beautiful girls. I like having good times, smoking butt up in the mountains, researching UFOs, Bigfoot, caves, mines, cemeteries, ghost towns, primitive wilderness areas, chasing monsters, and that's what I do with my time. I'm not going to get the coronavirus from Bigfoot. I can tell you that right now. So, it might eat me, but I'm not going to get the coronavirus. So we got about 12 minutes of this cooking. Let me go ahead, I'll come back in a little bit. I'm going to, look at this. It's no longer, you guys remember how it was, look at this. It's just broken apart, but you guys can see, it's in pieces. It's shredded. I don't even see, I mean, as soon as I lift it with my spoon, it's just breaking apart. Look at that. And so I'm going to stir it. I'm going to break it up, and and it'll be shredded pieces. But when I grab it and I put it on the plate, it's going to be shredded, like shredded beef, but in this case, it's shredded pork. And you can put this on bread if you want, or a roll. I'm not going to put it on bread. I'm trying to stay away from carbs. I have these pretzel sticks I'm going to make, very low on carbs and calories. So I'm going to stir this. I'm going to turn it on low because the oil and the butter is almost gone, and we don't want to burn them. We just want to simmer them. Now that all the butter and all the flavorful vegetable oil and all that, it's cooked in there. The garlic, they're starting to brown. That's how they'll look. They'll get this greenish brown. There'll be brown spots because that's the areas that it's simmered or fried, and it's absorbed some of the butter, and so it will take on a different color. Don't be alarmed, you're not burning them or anything, okay? And here's what we got. I'm going to show you what we got, but it's shredded meat now, look. See how it falls apart? You know it's done once it's shredded. And the thing is, now that it's shredded, it's totally absorbing all the rest of the barbecue sauce. The barbecue sauce is really thick, and it's absorbed into the meat. Like if I get a pile, it's not barbecue sauce, it's shredded meat. And so no more Leviathan. I have struck down the Leviathan pork loins. It's no longer a loin. Now I'm going to tell you two secrets. You don't have, when I showed you guys how I broke pieces, once you break it into pieces, it's no longer a loin. It's more shredded pork because those pieces are soft and tender, and they cook throughout and they break up. You got two choices, but here's the thing. It'll be more flavorful shredded because now all the pork throughout the roast is able to soak up the barbecue sauce, correct? So if you want, because some people don't like shredded pork, you can cook the loin. Don't break it. Like I broke it in 4 pieces when you guys seen on film with this spoon. It's tender, right? Don't break it. If you want to eat the whole tender and cut slices, what you can do, 5 hours, let the tender cook, take the whole tender out. Take the whole tender out. You put it, it's like a loaf. And you can put it on the plate like a loaf. And you can physically take your knife and you take a fork and you can slice the loin into little mini pork chops. If you want to take that route. I didn't take that route tonight because I broke it up into 4 different pieces. And then I stirred it and it started to shred. And then once I stirred each piece, each loin was broken in 4 pieces. Each loin, like I divided it in 4 chunks. There's nothing. You know what I mean? It's all shredded pork. There's not one piece there's not one chunk of meat. It's shredded, which is perfect to put on a piece of bread. You can put it on a roll, whatever you want to do, or just, you know, put it on the side plate and eat it. Now what I'm going to do, because I like to taste my food, because I want to make sure it's cooked, you know, it tastes good. I don't want it too spicy, too sweet. It's got to be just right. So sometimes you got to add stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little taste. And I'm going to let you know how it is. It's got to cool down. You can burn your mouth. But the muckamane is almost done. I'm going to let this cook for about 10 more minutes and then it's time to eat. I'm just going to put the shreddings on the side along with the muckamane and a nice couple pretzel sticks. It's going to be a really nice healthy meal. Very low in calories, high in protein. Oh my God. Holy shit. I have died and I've gone to the gates of heaven. Woo! Now that is some fucking good ass Leviathan pork loin. I have slain the beast and I've eaten the beast. And the beast now is in my stomach. Good. So it's very good. It's sweet with a little sweet tangy, and it has a little bit of a spice to it. A light spice. I didn't put a lot. It's a very light spice. It's really good, guys. It's really good. We're ready to take it almost out, put it on a plate. It's a real special dinner for Tammy as well. I always cook for Tammy. I love her to death. I mean, you know, it's good to have a girlfriend like her because she accepts me for me. A lot of people don't. I'm goughed out, I'm perished, I'm tatted. You know what I'm saying? I'm a swinger, I'm polyamorous. I am those things. And those things will never change. And that's why I don't get a TV show, because people judge me for my lifestyles or how I look or that I'm in sunglasses and flashing rings. I've had so many TV shows, so many producers come to me, and producers want to put me on TV. We do the pilot, we do this and that, it comes out great, and it's the TV networks that like, I don't know about this, I don't want to put them on. History Channel puts some real winners and doozies on. History Channel's denied me 5 times now, and it sucks because I've had producers go to the History Channel and say, you know, we really want to put someone different on like Lord Rick, and I'm supposed to go hunting monsters in the Himalayas and shit. It's just not happening. Not with the coronavirus. The TV network won't sign a contract. I'm trying to do my best to get on TV and give you guys a decent show. And I would be in charge. They would hand me a camera. I go 5-6 days in the Himalayas looking for Yeti. Go to Siberia, look for the Siberia Tunguska in Siberia's mysteries. So there's a lot I want to do. And I'd have a producer with me. Not a producer, but I'd have a guy filming. They also would hand me cameras. So my footage would be in the show. Like if I slid down a mountain, I would be filming it. It's reality TV, but it's the real deal. And History Channel, I mean, it comes down to they just don't like how I look. I just know they don't like my image. They think it's going to hurt their network is what it is. So it kind of, it's a little sad. A little sad because I want to give you guys so much more. But I'm really happy I can give you some good eats. If I can teach you guys how to eat a little healthier and how to lose weight and do these things and help you while you're home in quarantine, that's great, because I'm all about good eats, good health, exercise, those things. That's why I coach a basketball team. That's why I play for a basketball team. I play in the young league, 18 and up. Very competitive league. We got guys from college we play against. These guys are as good as NBA, some of them. And we go up against them, and I'm not disappointed. My team needs work, but every game I had 2 to 3 3-pointers. That's a really good percentage. Block steals, I was play defense, scour the circle, and I make three-pointers for my team. And I had per game 10 assists, which is good. 10 assists, 2-3 three-pointers, that's a really good record. So I'm proud of how I played in the league, and then the coronavirus came, and now I haven't played basketball in weeks. It's killing me, man. I play hockey, basketball. I was starting a hockey league in Carson City. It's all going to go away, man. And, you know, I'm 44 years old, and I got a bad knee and a fucked up tendons in my ankle, and I don't know how long I'm going to play sports for. Will I be able to run as fast in my 50, when I'm 50, 45, 46, 40? I don't know. But I tell you one thing, as long as I keep eating healthy and I exercise, I'm going to go a lot further than most people my age. And if you get the coronavirus, as garlic and these type of beans, I'm not going to say they're a cure, but if you eat like this and you eat, you can starve a fever by eating. Okay, so if you eat, listen to me, if you eat well, I know during the coronavirus people are like, I don't eat, I'm in aches and pains, crawl. No, fucking eat garlic. Eat a good healthy meal. Even if you got the coronavirus, sit down, eat some wakame, cook some pork, something high in protein, lots of garlic in both. You know what I'm saying? Hydrate yourself. Lemon juice is really good when you have the coronavirus. What you do is you get boil some hot water, let it cool so it's warm and doesn't burn your throat. Slice 2-3 lemons, throw them in. Drink it. I have some cures, some ailments to help the coronavirus. Breathe and exercise daily. Get your lungs breathing. Don't let your lungs just don't lie there and let them tighten up and get an infection. Breathing exercises. I don't care if you got the coronavirus, you have to get out of bed, you have to fight it. People are curling up and dying because they just can't take the aches and pains. I have aches and pains a 9 out of 10 on the scale of 9 to 10. Every day I have aches and pains. So if I got this virus, it wouldn't make a difference. I already have the pain. It's already there 24/7, 365 days a year. So breathing exercises, eat right, exercise, it's going to save your fucking lives. And I'm going to save your lives with this meal tonight because I have slayed the beast. Actually, I should put on an accent. I have slayed the beast. But anyhow, you can see it's shredded. It is shredded beef. You can put it on bread if you want. Like I say, you can just put it on your plate. I tasted it. It's really good shredded. You don't have to shred it. You can actually leave it as a loin, like I say, and cut it into steaks. You can also bake it in the oven, and it'll be like pork chop steaks. It won't break apart or shred. It shreds because it's meat in the slow cooker does that, if you have it on a long time. I cook them in the oven too, and I can teach you guys how to bake them. But I think, honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, I think pork loin and pork roast is better in the slow cooker because it can absorb internally. When you cook it in the oven, it doesn't absorb a lot of the flavor. Just the outside, the skin, that crisp up. But this is flavored throughout every single piece. Every shredded piece has absorbed the sauce that I have made with it, which is a brown sugar, honey, hickory type of barbecue sauce. Real brown sugar and real garlic and real seasonings. It's just going to have a vibrant taste. This is a meal. This is a meal for kings, my friends. For kings. And even for lords. Good Lord Rick, you're watching Angel of the Night Radio, the stay-at-home cooking episode. We're going to be eating in 5 minutes. Let's prep the plates, shall we? Alright everybody, this is the last segment of our cooking show for tonight, and then we'll have the Jack the Ripper London broil in a couple days, and then I'll put it all together and you guys get 2 radio shows for the price of 1. And what's the admission? It's free to enjoy Angel of That Radio. However, I'm going to charge you a bowl, you know what I'm saying? So what I have here is some sour diesel. I've been smoking also Orange 43. It's a Kush. It really is a Kush, really sweet. Got a tangerine taste. And then I have OG Kush, which is great for anxiety. If you mix that OG Kush and you mix the Orange 43, I mean, you can really sleep good at night. And I do that sometimes. Let me smoke. Give you guys a little bit of bud. That's all I charge. It's a little bud. That's the admission. No, I'm just kidding, guys. No, but I'm not going to force anyone to smoke to watch my show, okay? But you guys can see that I live a very healthy lifestyle. I smoke good, clean bud, eat well, exercise today. Though that's what's going to help me live a long time so that I can see my sons have kids, be there for my grandkids. I'm going to have some more kids of my own. I'm not going to lie about it. I don't really give a shit. I'm going to have some more kids, and you know what? I'm going to stay healthy for those kids so I can raise those kids and watch them graduate and walk down the aisle. And I'm going to do those things in life, maybe even adopt a kid. I'm one of these people that I got a big heart like a teddy bear. So I'm drinking ginger lime. I'm smoking good bud. This is a ginger lime sparkling water. Extremely healthy. Ginger's good. Ginger root for your stomach. I was nauseous last night, but it's really good for your stomach. Not acidic, you know. I mean, a little bit. There's a little bit of lime in there, but it's fine. I'm going to show you guys something. Look, it's no longer, remember how it was like really soupy? Well, look, the beans now are a brownish green. I'm going to show you up close. See how they're brownish green now? And see, they've absorbed all the flavor, butter, and a little bit of the vegetable oil. It's just for flavoring, and it's good. It's very healthy. You can have a little bit of, you can have good cholesterol, and you can also have a little bit of butter and oil in your diet. It's the carbs you really got to watch for. I go a lot to the doctors. I have blood tests. They test everything. I have good immune system, good blood, no diseases, no hepatitis, no coronavirus, you know, on and on and on. I'm very healthy of a guy. It's just that I have ripped tendons, sore joints, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, that kind of stuff. Honestly, I'm agoraphobic, have heavy anxiety over a lot of things too. And when I cook and I hike and I'm outdoors in the middle of nowhere, all that shit goes away. The pain, the anxiety, all of it goes away. And when I eat a meal like this, it goes away too. So beans are done. Turn it on low. There's no flame. Let it just slowly keep warm, because I'm going to come back for seconds, okay? I'm going to turn the crock pot on warm. It's no longer going to cook. It's just going to keep it warm. It'll continue to absorb flavor as we eat dinner. And I'm going to show you guys, I got 4 pretzel sticks here. These are pretzel sticks. You can get any kind of rolls they have with this. You could smother the barbecue pork onto a roll and have a pork sandwich, but I like to have these pretzel sticks with dinner, like a steak, or they're really good. I'm going to show you guys what you do, okay? We're going to move the camera a little. I moved the camera a little bit. We're going to take water, okay, and we're going to see, these are pretzel sticks, so we're going to put water on them. There's 4 of them, just a little water. They're frozen, so it's not going to hurt anything, but the reason why you put water is so that it helps steam them and cook them, right? Now these taste better baking them in the oven. You can bake them in the oven and they get crispy and nice. But you can also do them in the microwave. You ever buy soft pretzels at the store and they have microwave ones? Well, you can do microwave ones too. And I do these in the microwave because they cook quick. I put them in the oven and they're frozen. It's going to take, 10, 15 minutes. I want them in 2 minutes because this is done. We're about to eat. Oven can be turned off, or the timers can be all turned off. I've had this in for about 5.5 hours. I have. It's a long time to cook on high. But it has absorbed a lot of flavor, and tomorrow when I have lunch tomorrow, it'll be even more flavorful, because when you take pulled pork, this is what it is now, it's pulled pork, it's no longer a Leviathan monster pork loin. There was 2 of them, by the way, male and female. One looked like a penis, you guys seen it. But anyways, take the salt, so you wet them, so you can sprinkle salt. I have salt. Okay, and we're going to sprinkle them all over the pretzel like this. These pretzels have now salt on them. So you guys see. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? We're going to put them in the microwave for like a minute, maybe 10 for 2. So I put it like a minute and 30 seconds, and then I test and see how they are. You don't want to make sure there's no water on the plate, because if there is, I drain the water, put my hands, drain the water, because if there is, they'll be soggy on the bottom. I don't want soggy pretzels. So what I do, see what I just did? Look, I drained them all. No water. Little secret I'm teaching you. You can buy pretzel sticks anywhere. Oh, I have a coffee in here, a half a coffee. I usually get coffee, like to ride in the mountains. It's one of my favorite things. What I'll do is I'll ride in the mountains, smoke a little bud, drink a cup of coffee. Just living life healthy. And my lungs are so healthy from living out in the mountains. We have the cleanest air here in Nevada. It's the truth. Vegas has got smog, but northern Nevada has some of the cleanest air in the country. So if you live here, I live about 5,000 feet in elevation. We had a couple earthquakes. The epicenter was a few miles from here. Doesn't bother me because I'm not going through the tornado season. Sadly, around Easter in the southeast, there's a lot of states getting hit with tornadoes. People are dying, and it's sad. Little kids are being sucked out of houses, and it's just, it's heartbreaking, you know, and I can't live like that. I one time lived in Florida, and we had a tornado erase our town. There was no town left. I drove around the next morning, the town was wiped out. My house was still standing. Tornado missed my house, man, and I thought, man, if we would have got hit, my kids could have died. We would have had no house, we'd have had no belongings, everything would have been lost. I have things from my childhood, I have things that are precious, important to me, and I don't want to lose them. I don't want a tornado sucking up my shit and throwing my valuable garbage pail cards in someone's yard. I have all the old garbage pail cards, stuff like that, you know? So the pretzels are done. 15 more seconds, take out the pretzels, and I'm going to fix the plate and I'm going to show you guys, okay? I'm in my PJs. You guys watch the show on Prime, it's called The Hunters. It kind of follows a true story where all the Nazis came to America, were given new names after World War II, new lives. They were all, not the high-ranking Nazis, but some of the lower-ranking Nazis were brought here, scientists and so forth. And they built our rockets for NASA, maybe even in some of our weapons programs, because the Germans were brilliant. I mean, they were the one that perfected the rocket. And after the war, the United States wanted to learn, how do we make ballistic missiles, rockets that could go to space. So a lot of German Nazis came here, were given new identities. Some of them did kill people. They did kill Jews. They did gas Jews. They did things like that. They did commit war crimes. They were brought here. I'm not saying they were major people that played a role that were close to Hitler, but I'm saying they were involved. They were war criminals. And we brought them here, and we used them for their brains to build rockets, to build weapons. And thousands of Nazis were given the good life here in America. And I still, now watching The Hunters, I kind of think to myself, man, I mean, I probably would have joined them. I'm not Jewish, but I'm a justice type of guy, man. And if I find out that you are a Nazi and you shot a bunch of kids up, I'm going to come after you. I'll drive through your house and I'll have both handguns, one in each fucking hand, and I'll just fucking shoot them both with one hand. I don't fucking care, man. I don't care. I will send evil to hell, okay? But right now, forget evil, forget Nazis. I'm going to watch an episode of The Hunters. I got a nice plate I'm going to fix. I'm going to show you guys the final results. Let me show you what this looks like real quick so you can see how it's shredded. Okay, so we have the muckamane, right? See the color it's taken on is beautiful color. It's because it's caramelized. It's really tasty. And then what we have here, it's more like shredded pork now. It's no longer a pork line. If I would have left them, I could have put them on plates and sliced it up, but it still would be so tender it would break apart on the plate, correct? So what you do is you can put this on bread. Now this is 2 quarts worth of pork. You guys see, okay, it's halfway up to the top. There's a lot of pork here. I would say that if I put a couple scoops on each plate, we're going to have leftovers for a couple days. And what will happen is I will eat some tonight, I will eat some tomorrow, and then what's left, the dogs will start getting some of it. Because this is really good, the pork is really good for dogs. It will not hurt dogs. There's a little onion powder in it, but it's in garlic, but it won't hurt them. It's a healthy meal. I give my dogs always a little shredded pork. I'm going to give them a little tonight on a plate or in their bowls because it's a lot, and it's just Tammy and I eating. And if any of my friends want to come and have supper with me, I'm more than happy to cook us some good eats and go off-roading up in Kings Canyon or hiking. Anytime, I'm up for that, man. I'm always up for adventure. So you guys can see, I just want to show you it up close. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to fix the plate. I just wanted to show you the meal up close because here I am on camera just talking, and now it's time to eat, right? You guys got to see the muckamane, how it looks cooked, see how it's caramelized, get lightly sauteed and a little green. And then you see the shredded beef. There's multiple things you can do with this. You can get a Kaiser roll, open it up, put a piece of, you can put a piece of cheese, I'd say maybe Swiss or something to that effect. Put it on a roll, and you can smother this on the roll with the cheese. Kind of like a pork sloppy joe, right? In the South, they eat pork sandwiches. You can put it on the side. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys. Okay, I'm going to put it on the side. I really don't need the bread. I don't need the extra carbs. I'm trying to eat a high protein meal. I have tendons. I had to sprain my ankle and I broke a finger playing basketball, and it's healing up nice, but the protein does help, along with a little jogging and exercise. I'll walk my dog tomorrow around the block, that kind of thing. Ran around at the lake today. I don't have a roll. You guys can put a roll, like I say. Or if you cook the pork loin, you can put it on a plate and slice it thin like pork chops. But it's better to bake it if you're looking for a pork chop type of loin. If you're looking for shredded beef where it absorbs, because you guys see there's no more, it's not soupy. It's absorbed. I mean, it is moist, right? See how it looks? But it's absorbed all the barbecue sauce. So it's not soupy. It's all shredded beef. This is all meat. When I created the sauce for this, I had just the right amount. Once you submerge the pork loin, and I had 2, it'll absorb it all in 5-6 hours. But if you don't have enough and it's not submerged, your pork will be extremely dry. And I don't like dry steak, dry pork. I like everything to be moist. So one last thing, I'm going to put the mukamang on the plate. You guys are going to see how it looks. It's really good. I mean, it tastes, oh my God, so flavorful. So put the mukamang on a plate. And what we're going to do, the pretzel sticks are hot. They're warm, but I want to put it on for 10 seconds more, and they'll be ready to go. I like a little mustard when it comes to my pretzel sticks. So you guys don't see the microwave on film, but I like a little bit of, I'll put a little bit of mustard. Like this, okay? And what I do is I take the mustard, I don't know if you guys, let me put it over here, because you guys can't even see me over there. But you look, okay? Little mustard between. That sounded horrible, by the way. I'm not ripping them, I promise. Not until after the meal. Alright guys, so look what we have here. And I'm going to turn on the light, because another light, I want you guys to really see this. Okay, the light's on, you guys can see the meal. I'm going to actually hold the camera down. Awesome. I'm gonna light my pipe, and I'm going to eat soon. Okay, so you guys see, I got my plate done, nice and warm, fresh. I'm gonna make Tammy's plate, so I'm gonna be leaving the show, guys. Please watch my next episode. This is a back-to-back cooking episode. In about 2-3 days, we're gonna have Jack the Ripper London Broil. I'll explain why I call it that if you continue to watch the show after. It's a double creature feature. So we have the Leviathan pork loins. There was 2. I got surprised. And some nice mukamang, couple pretzel sticks, warm pretzel sticks. Like I say, you can bake them in the oven. I think it's better to bake them in the oven. That's just my personal preference, because I like things crispy, not soggy. But if it sits on the plate a little bit, if it's a little moist, it'll soak it up. So I got Tammy's plate. Bon appetit, bitches. Stay tuned for Jack the Ripper London Broil. Check us out. This is Lord Rick, your host of AngelOfThyNight Radio, live from Carson City. And I will bring you more good eats. I got some shish kebabs I'm going to be cooking in a couple months. I'll show you how to make shish kebabs, chicken and beef. It's going to be awesome. We'll have the camera focused on the grill. You guys are going to love it. But we have, Tammy's plate is done. My plate is done. Real nice looking meal. A little ginger lime drink. You know, watch the hunters. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Stay home. Stay alive. The coronavirus, maybe you can look at the positives of it. You get to spend more time with family. You get to spend more time cooking because you're not at work all day. Maybe spend a little time in nature and outdoors. I bird watch. I have bluebirds, sagebrush jays that live in my trees, that kind of thing. And try to look at the positives of it. If you make this meal exactly the way it is, like I showed you guys, it's real tangy, hickory, smoke flavored, sweet and spicy type of brown sugar sauce that I made, and the pork loin absorbed it. There's no fat. It's all meat, all shredded pork, with some flavorful high protein soybeans with garlicky, nutty flavor, and some pretzel sticks. So I want to say good night, everybody. Check out our YouTube, youtube.com/AngelOfThyNight, N-I-G-H-T. And check out our website, www.paranormalghostsociety.org, for thousands of adventures, pictures, and a look into the strange. This is Lord Rick. Peace out, everybody. Alright, everybody. It's time to eat, and Winston has a can for dinner to eat. So it doesn't look like he wants my pork. You guys want some pork? I'll put some pork in your bowls. Ooh, even the dogs are going to get a meal. Oh, this is so good. I tasted it. It's so good. That's home cooking, everyone. My dogs are going to eat like kings tonight. This is for Winston's first birthday, which was about a week ago. Look, he's waiting.
I'm just thinking those spices might be a little too much for his belly.
Yeah, maybe he'll start farting and stinking up the room. Yes, this dog farts. Alright, everybody. Well, the dogs have some pork, too. It's got to cool down. It is a little sweet and spicy. It's both. I made it that way on purpose. So you see the final results. You got to see Tammy and I's plate. And you got to see the dogs. Always let it cool. You don't want them to burn their mouth. They will burn their mouth. And, you know, there's so much. Look how much is left. Enough for a few sandwiches. Tomorrow I'll put it on bread, a piece of bread, and I'll have it for lunch. It'll taste good because it'll sit in the fridge overnight and absorb more of the sauce. So anyways, dogs are set. I'm set. And I'm ready to watch the hunters. So everybody, the dogs are about to get their dinner. Nope. And I want to show you guys how much they enjoy my home cooking. This is such a sweet barbecue pulled pork. And not only is it sweet, but for about an hour it left a tingling taste in my mouth as I was watching Hunters, the season finale. And it's really going to be healthy for the dog. Really high in protein. It's just meat. Meat is great for dogs. Real natural meat, not fake meat and dog food and byproducts, but real pure meat. I mean, Rocky to the left is 13, almost 14 years old. Winston's a year old. Both very, very smart, healthy dogs. Now watch when I wave my hand, they'll eat. Hold on, wait. Okay. Good boy. Look at that. They love it. So everybody, our next meal up will be Jack the Ripper London Broil. Oh man, look at him. Awesome. You guys like that? Yeah? Good boy. See, I can pet these guys while they're eating. they're like, are you done petting me? All I care about, oh, he's almost got it gone. The old man doesn't have good teeth anymore. Or see, Winston ate it up real quick. Rocky's like, I'm old, man. My teeth are worn down. Yeah, I know the feeling, boy. And the nice thing about this is you put the pulled pork on the dog food. See how I have the dog food? They'll actually enjoy the dog food more. It flavors the dog food. See, they ate there's no more pork. But now they'll eat their dog food. So, got some happy dogs. Very happy pups. And, alright. Now you go lay down and take it easy. Hey, come on, boy. Come here. Come here, Winston. Come on. You gonna show thank yous? Kisses? Kisses? Come here, boy. Come on. Oh, good boy. Yes, a good boy. Yes, you're thanking Daddy. All right. Thank you. You're saying thank you. Welcome to my world, folks. My dogs mean the world to me. Good boy. You like that? You like Daddy? You like Daddy's cooking, huh? And the little one's eating all the dog food. He's like, look at that tail. The tail's just wiggling. Rocky! You like that, Rocky? Right, Daddy's home cooking. Look at that tail. Some happy dogs. So there's enough for everybody, for Tammy and I to have a nice dinner, and the dogs to have a nice dinner. And I'll have some lunch tomorrow, and the dogs will have some lunch. Life is good, my friends. This is what I do when I'm staying at home and quarantined. This is Lord Rick, everybody. Say goodnight, everybody. To Winston and Rocky. That was a meal, huh? You want to go outside? Yep. Come on, let's go outside. Oh, yeah. Go outside and burp a little. Come on, go outside. Rocky, go. Night, everybody.